We're playing the Bruins. All makes sense. Haven't played this version before, but I've played every other hockey game. I've been playing since about 94, but then I played all the ones before that. 94 is still my favorite.
The iconic organ plays to usher in the home team's goals, and the fans love to count them up here in St. Louis for these Blues.
Let's just head to Boston to simulate tonight. This will work.
Awaiting the first face-off, and so is Zdeno Chara, an imposing force, 255 pounds, plus equipment. Skates it into the zone.
So I'm mostly testing out the streaming, seeing how it goes, see if we could capture something and preserve it for a minute.
Has it picked up.
Like I say, I haven't played a shell for a little bit, so bear with me while I'm reacclimating to some of this.
Intercepts that pass. Maybe he can generate something.
Mostly my impressions of E3. I'm a little bit disappointed with the direction it's going. It seems like it's going to dissolve into each company doing their own live stream, which I think is the best result. I think the more accessible it becomes, the better the result for us.
Is able to move on in the slide. Score!
Not starting out well.
And they set that home team back.
I don't have a clear pick for tonight. No horse in the race. I'm a huge Penguins fan, but I'll take the Blues at a push. Boston won a championship about 3 months ago. We're tired of it.
He's got it. Offside is called, and so a neutral zone face-off. Just under 5 minutes played in the first. Only one goal hanging on the board so far, so it's 1-0. Directing that one to Krejci. Passing one off now to Johansson. Can start the attack going in.
I need to turn off these tutorial lines. I've played enough. I don't need these.
This is a tough one to work for. Puck is thrown to DeBrusque. Snapping a pass to
Let's see if I could get in there and do that. I was impressed by most of the showings. I think Microsoft had a particularly good showing. At least a lot of games, not a lot of footage of actual games in there. I was super excited about Blair Witch, though. Just such a weird thing to make that in 2019. Just as the original film's 20 years old, we're getting the video game adaptation. I think there were some like on the PlayStation or PC way back when, but oh jeez, where's the? We'll just mess with that later, huh? I just don't like these tutorial lines, showing a little bit too much guidance.
Walking a thin line near the border there. Wow.
Whatever, I'll ignore them.
Love the physical play. He takes his man right into the boards with a solid hit.
Getting a feel for this again.
Didn't need it. Save.
That was a good challenge. Better stop.
Slides it to the point. Takes it to the corner.
And it's hot as hell in Seattle. It's about 90 degrees, and I'm just trying to cool off inside. Just got out of the dentist, so that's the perfect time to stream when your mouth's completely swollen.
Chip to Perron. And they've got it again. Steps in from the neutral zone. Outstanding save.
You can't deliver the puck much better than that, but the goalie said no chance. That's an excellent save.
I thought Microsoft could have had a little bit more of interior studios. They said they had like 14 games, but we know most of them, right? None of the new ones, like their acquisition Ninja Theory, didn't result in much of anything.
And that's a great job.
They had like an anarchy range looking game. So I'm excited to see what they do next year. I feel like that's the year they show their Scarlet showing. Come get me, buddy.
Just walking the tightrope. Thinking attack here. Save there.
Almost got it.
Wonderful shot.
We'll get one in.
Quickly.
The shooter thought
A lot of relearning with these sports games. They become so sim heavy that there's a lot to think about.
Puck collected. Pass attempt to Nordstrom. Shoots it off. Blocked.
I thought about going with a relevant game, but
since
since the Stanley Cup's tonight, this is all I really want to play.
Really solid job done defensively. That takes some of the pressure off when you can use your stick like that. Waits from the corner.
Oh.
Collected by Patrice Bergeron. Look out, here it comes.
Bergeron's not very happy after taking that.
I really wish they'd show the next NHL during this E3 because they always happen that they have the conference and the Stanley Cup around the same time. My favorite one I was at was when the LA Kings were playing nearby, playing the Devils. So a lot of fun to go celebrate after the shows.
Solid defensive play.
And it had the atmosphere of, you know, well, the convention center's right next to the, what do you call it, Staples Center down there. So a lot of energy, enthusiasm, but I don't know, I've been looking at this E3, it's looking dead to me. Small convention. They allow the general public in now, which it's always been a trade show, and I think it should be one.
Leads that charge into the zone.
And this period did nothing for us.
Are you looking to impress at your next group event? Then rent out one of them.
I'm kind of just happily just trying to preserve video, see if I could save one, try to transfer it to YouTube somehow. If we could do that, I'll do a lot more streaming. I need to figure out the ins and outs of doing this, but I won't do it very often.
Outstanding save with a glove.
Come on. I wish the computer were more liable to fight in this.
The Blues win it. A shot.
I'm hoping for a Blues victory. I don't know if we have any Boston fans that will end up watching this.
Cut that pass in his own end.
Seems to me everyone outside the Northeast would want St. Louis to win.
Terrific determination.
We want the new story for the history books. We don't want the same old story.
Picks it up back
last
there.
time they met in the playoffs, or in the Stanley Cup, of course, we had the
Takes it in from the neutral
famous
zone.
Bobby Orr flying
by the
picture.
stick.
So, you know, it's
Louis carrying it
way
in their
overdue
own
that
end.
they'd come back and make a second run at the Stanley Cup, hopefully tonight.
Oh, broke it up. Shifts to the backhand and shoots. And now it's directed to DeBrusque. Pitching it to McAvoy. Pitching this one to Krejci. Skilled play by Bomeister. The Blues with
Let's
possession
go,
in the
Blues.
neutral zone.
Get a little
Played
more
on,
creative with
Joel
our
Riley.
passes.
Cut his glove on.
Rask is so good that I just can't get anything past him. Go give him a little bump from the behind. See if that throws him off, because I'm going
Just
to
a bit
start
under
poking my
6 minutes
stick back there.
completed in the second. The Bruins
Alright,
lead
boys.
1-0.
Yeah.
Boston's prevailed on another face-off.
I always forget I could skate backwards in these.
The Bruins have it along the side at mid-ice.
Little poke check.
Gains
Sounds
that
to me like the
offensive
commentary
line.
hasn't changed for at least like 5-6 years. They might just do new
Moving
lines
into
for new
Sundqvist.
players. Makes sense, but I want a different game. I mean, you're paying, what, $60 each time, so should get that much worth of commentary, right?
Cut off that pass.
The Bruins have forced another turnover, Doc. They've done a real nice job in that category in this close game.
Right.
Lets it go.
Leaving myself
And
open a
save.
lot.
Directing
I'm
that
so
one
used to playing with the
Schwartz.
Penguins that
Linesman
doesn't make a lot of
signals
sense
an
playing
offside.
with these guys.
No team worth its
Here we
name
go.
is going to let that go.
Here we go. Come on.
And so a fight has begun, sort of. One guy refuses, so now we have another.
His teammate did not want anything to do with dropping his gloves, and he's got some help.
Down he goes. There
They
he is.
used their fists and got a fistful. 5 each for fighting.
Both those guys making
Hopefully
their way
some
over
good
to the
fights
penalty box.
tonight.
They're gonna
I
get a
just saw
chance to
after the
cool
game
down for
last
at
time
least
that
5
the
minutes
Boston
each.
fans were fighting each other. More fights in the stands than on the ring. I think that's
The
fucking
Blues are
dumb.
up on their feet, banging the boards. I don't know that the building's been louder than it is right now.
And it bums me out coming back around to E3 not having Sony out there. Those were some of the best go-to
Picks it up in his own end.
back in the day. They always had pretty high production values, a lot of sizzle reels in their presentations, and they always had asides that talked about numbers nobody cares about at a trade show presentation like that. Like you don't have Apple numbers, they don't care. Let's just sneak around. Back there, we got it.
He got the post with that one.
Haven't played for a year, but not that rusty.
Under 9 minutes to go in the period. Scrappy game. Both of these teams have connected.
Scrappy game.
Gets
Go,
across,
boys.
looks over his options.
Set up back here.
That one is pointed to him. Lets
Oh.
the shot fly. Slid to Tarasenko. Great
I'm getting my
save.
feel back.
Passing one off now to
But yeah, I really like it when it feels like people are having to compete on stage, and you kind of have the feeling that the next day there's a kind of measured need to upscale based on what came before. You kind of got that feeling with Nintendo since some stuff got leaked that they had to throw the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer in at the last minute. I didn't feel like Microsoft really took advantage of that opportunity Sony gave them. I feel like they gave it to them on the plate and they didn't really do anything at E3. So. Nice showings for a bunch of games, but not very memorable. Scarlet Premiere, nobody's going to be talking about that once the console comes out. I feel like that was kind of a nothing showing. Another right off the skate. Well, yeah, I love Tarasenko. I don't really care about the Blues, but
fork in the road are we headed for with this face-off?
I'd really love to see them pull it out tonight.
The Bruins are skating it up at neutral ice.
How embarrassing would it be if this first game didn't go well?
Blockered away. Back in his defensive end to get it.
Speak too soon. I have a bad habit of flopping on the ice like a penguin like that. Really draws some penalties that way.
Propelled to Dunn.
Here we go, 3 of us up here. We got this.
Oh, terrific save on a great chance.
He had his eye on the puck the whole time. What a stop.
Some of my favorite things to do at E3 were just going and meeting with the EA Vancouver team. I've always loved these hockey games. It's my favorite sport as far as it transfers onto gameplay mechanics. It always worked out.
He is fun to watch, isn't he, Ray? We'll do more of that now. Boston's got it in their own end, hoping for center. It's dumped in.
I'd just like to see a comeback with a little bit more fun hockey. I know this has like some pond hockey stuff in it, but I miss NHL hits. And I remember EA had like Hit the Ice on the PlayStation. That was a good time too. Got 3 in. There we go.
St. Louis has enlarged their lead now to 2. And we're in the second period.
So and as far as showings, I feel like Nintendo showed the most game. Nintendo and Square, which surprised me. I expected the least from them. Last year, Nintendo just had a showing that was like just centered on Smash Bros, right? And then everything else was just ancillary. Like, oh, this character has a showing in Smash. I feel like they had to bat it out of the park with everything the first 2 years of the Switch. Now it's established, and we just get real games.
The Bruins are lucky to still be in this game, Doc. They've been outplayed by a large margin, especially in time of possession. One lucky bounce, and they're right back in it.
Has it back deep. Smart recovery by Charlie.
I noticed no difference at all between this game and the last year's. I can't tell you if it even looks sharper. It's so small that whatever the changes are. I've noticed more like finesse in the skating lately, but there's not anything really large I can point out for you. They nearly skated it into their own, didn't they?
Organizing back in their own end.
That's all right. We're doing okay.
Line control. Goes back deep for it.
Yeah, pass it to me.
A superb hit. A great hockey play there.
Was that who
just wiping them all out.
Gets in and he'll look over his options.
Motherfucker.
Pass attempt to Sundquist.
That's right.
St. Louis looks up from mid-ice. Shot. That puck hit him on the way to the net.
I feel like I'm playing this pretty well. The situation's alright with me.
Trying to go to Schwartz.
I feel like EA was a non-factor for having such a huge Star Wars game. Nobody talked about that, even after the day it premiered there. For a big Respawn game, they really didn't make a splash, but they really could have. And I think that's mostly like goodwill getting burnt out on Battlefront.
The Blues with a clean win on the draw.
That'll come back once the game's out, get some good reviews. They just need some goodwill.
Not a free puck now. Looking to
Could have finished on that slap shot there.
Now it's directed to Maroon.
Come on, boys.
Shot on. Just missed the net.
Sometimes you rush the shot and end up missing the net. Need to slow things down.
I need you guys to move up. Come on, where are you? Shoot.
In the slot. Missed.
Oh, that puck slowed up and just missed the side of the net.
Read that play in his own end. Pitching it to DeBrusque.
Get past me.
Shot.
That'll often draw penalties on you, so I love to do it, but
the Blues are driving it from
I think
the
I have all
wing.
the penalties turned on.
And at an angle to Parayko.
Motherfucker, just pass. Alright, and we'll go around the goal again, see if it works twice.
A shot. Terrific
Almost.
glove save.
Almost.
He
I wanna
covers
fight
and
again.
holds on.
Yeah, I'd like more innovations. I feel like hockey could benefit most from going to next gen, getting, you see there's a little bit of deterioration on the ice, but I'd like the actual lines of the skates to be drawn in and really feel the atmosphere of the rink a little bit more. I feel pretty disconnected from a surface when I'm playing a hockey game. See, like, look at my guy, I feel like he's just kind of floating there. I don't feel like he's actually gliding on a surface.
St. Louis moves well through the neutral zone.
Try a little
Let's
trick.
it go. Great save.
Not much on it, though.
Terrific
No.
determination by Alex
Here we go.
Steen.
Let's set it back here. And I'd like character models to finally look like the real players. I don't know if you could even tell them apart if you don't know what you're looking at.
Scooped up by Bortuzzo. Pad save. Ooh,
Like if you just took their faces and didn't have any uniforms on them. Either. I don't think you would be able to tell, oh, that's Sidney Crosby or that's Tarasenko.
Twist one. Save. And ring
Come on.
doorbells on that one. One after another.
I don't like Boston much. I don't think anyone that follows sports does, right? We're all tired of you, Boston. Go home.
Defensive zone win. And he picks it up. Puck out of the zone.
Oh, man.
And so they'll
Anyway, I didn't
regroup.
feel like there's any totally
In with the
awkward E3 moments for the yearbook
Pitching this one
this
to
year.
Tarasenko.
Nothing like there was like 6 years ago
Backhander to
when
the
I felt
net.
like it was
And
like the
that one
peak of
turned
E3
aside.
and every company had to show.
And that's 4
Got
straight
another.
goals.
I mean, we're awfully glad like Konami's not there like showing Pachinko spots, right? It could be so much worse than it is. Or that like Capcom doesn't have a conference. I'm sure we'd like to see some more Resident Evil.
So everybody has to get back
We
out.
only really got that bit with the Switch showing 5 and 6 again.
We are in the
We don't need those
60th
games
minute
again,
out
do
of
we?
60. St. Louis
It's not like Resident Evil 4 where you
you
should just keep bringing it back every 2 years.
Wings it. Oh, what a save. He brought his best shot, and it got stopped.
Did pretty good
Oh,
this
that
game.
was close.
There's not really much place to go with the
I
shot.
hope this is how it
He's
goes
trying to be
tonight.
Perfect. He misses, and the puck rings around the boards.
It gets hot in here, it's about 90 degrees.
Solid, clean win.
Not used to this in Seattle at all. I was happier a few months ago when it was snowing.
Well, there you go. Very effective defensive play.
I'm used to the gray. Another one in.
He's got
Beauty.
his second of the game. Neutral zone.
Yeah,
faceoff
dropping
one.
into the zone,
Possession
focusing these
established
last
here.
30. Try to see if I could get one more in.
Smart recovery by Bobiste. Gathered up again by Krejci. Directing that one.
One more, come on. Let's do it. One more rush. Here we go.
Shoots. Wonderful save. What skill by both goalie
Still a fun
and
game.
shooter.
I love these games. I might do a little bit of outdoor play. I haven't even explored that hard yet, so maybe this will be good in there.
Not much in doubt about the outcome.
First
but
power
there
play
will
of the
be another
game.
penalty handed out.
Neither of us drawing penalties. We know what we're doing. We're professionals, right?
He throws it there. Horn sounds. Game over. The Bruins lose big.
Looks pretty good on there.
Especially in that third period.
All those numbers look good to me. 31-0 hits. Fantastic. If there were an awkward moment, it's kind of shifted toward maybe it was Bethesda's. I don't know if anyone really wanted more Fallout 76. I know it's free on there, so I might check that out for fun, but I don't know why. I don't see any reason why you'd want to go into that. Let's roll the chill. That's online stuff. I want to keep it off. I want to keep it offline, so I'm not chatting on mic to anyone. But I feel like I'm pretty excited about the new Tango Works game anyway. I'd like to see more of that. I don't know if anything showed at the conference, but I'd like to see what that's about. Play with and against the stars. I don't want to play online really. I need to brush up at least 2-3 more games that'll be pretty competitive online again, I think. Those are all probably online. Everything but versus, right? This looks fun. Yeah, I'm ready for Doom. That looks like the one thing that I keep thinking about from the show. I have a good feeling about how absurd that's going to get. Here we go, one more game and then I'm probably off for a while.
Spent half of his first decade with the Philadelphia Flyers as captain.
Mostly just testing to see if I can hold a recording and if I can push it onto YouTube. So we'll see how it goes. So likely be back again.
Looking to Gensel. And he steps across the line. Went to the backhand.
I am so much more comfortable with how the Penguins play. This already feels better to me. It's funny how dramatically the little stat changes and the way that the team dynamics can play out on the ice like that. I just feel so much more fluid with these players that I know, and I know how they work together. I know how to set something up with them. It's worked a lot better than that last game. I don't know if we'll get another 5-1, but hopefully get some in. Hard hitting.
Well, that's a good organized hit right there. You catch him with his head down just for an instant. You close the gap and finish the check. Couturier's hurt here. He's just going to go back.
I'm just trying to get a couple zingers past him on his shoulder side here.
Shoots one. Great glove save. Hangs on to that one for a stoppage.
Want to fight? Want to fight? See again, you couldn't tell me that's Letang if he didn't have a jersey on. You would never know who he is. Doesn't really matter, but I'd like a little bit more authenticity. If they're going to be the only hockey game in the market, I wish they'd use it for something. I feel like that kind of led to some complacency with Madden and this, where I can't tell the last 6 years of games apart. If you gave me the same graphics package and they, you know, in different games, I wouldn't be able to tell you what's what. Is there only one way they're moving forward?
Solid neutral ice poke check. Strong wrist shot. Save! Terrific reaction to a scary shot. Outstanding body contact.
Patrick's on the limp after that big hit.
I don't know if there's any answer to what to do with E3. I feel like I was happy when Sega had the conference, obviously. I'm a huge Sega fanboy, right? I don't really care about a lot of the consoles in the way I feel like people did in the 90s. I don't feel like they really reached for that kind of loyalty, that brand loyalty that consumerism had in the 90s that extreme dedication to one idea.
Pitching it to Bukestad.
Like everyone probably has an Xbox and a PlayStation, right? Anyone that really cares about the games and isn't just in it for the Netflix. You've probably got all of them,
The
don't you?
shooter thought he had a chance, but the goaltender robs him. What a stop.
Moving it to Myers. Zone to zone to Hartman. Makes that play deep. To Aston Reese. Now it's directed to Hornquist.
Get a little tricky with our stick
Shot
there.
on goal. What a save.
Not scoring as much as I was with the Blues, not as easily.
Pitching this
Despite
to
having
Bailey.
pretty much full control of the puck
Enormous
so
hit.
far.
You talk about a five-tool player. That's one of them. What a hit.
Still
Pass
feeling pretty
attempt
good
to
about it.
Aston Reese. Can start the attack going in the zone. Routine
Mostly getting a
save.
lot of pressure back here.
He gets that
I need
squeeze
to
in
open up
those
the play a
pads
little
and
bit.
play stop. Just under 5 minutes to go in period 1. Nothing on the scoreboard has changed. Still a pair of zeros. The Penguins win it.
There was a weird feeling like with the Ubisoft conference, so it looked like one of the older ones. It felt like one that was from like 5 years ago when Watch Dogs was first released. I don't know if it's because they keep pulling out Just Dance, but I feel like they haven't,
And they've got it again.
you know, they say they're radically moving things forward and creating a new style of game, but half of what they had to show were
In with
shooters.
it now.
They didn't have any Raymond
Tremendous
or
hit.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 on stage, which is what I really care about from them, right?
Everybody takes notice.
Watch Dogs, the new one looks fine. I didn't know Clint Hawking was there either, so
Save there.
that's a big deal. I love Far Cry 2 as far as like the immersive open world design goes. He was an innovator, and I hope he's doing something innovative again with the switching characters business.
Solid, clean win. Nearing the 20th minute of
Come
this
on.
period. Huge hit. Possession's gone.
In the first period.
Fuck, it's hot in here.
Good save. It's going to have to be
Gotta get on
something
my game.
tougher than that to score. Directing that
All right,
one to
Kessel,
Kessel.
see what you do.
Shakes right through. Did what he's made to do.
Just keep pushing it in there.
Play
We're going.
stopped. That puck is just held.
I cannot tell you a difference between this year and last.
The
I
Flyers
don't think
with a
there's anything
face-off win.
visually that impressive about this. It doesn't look cutting edge anymore. We better get a new one soon. I know at the start of this generation we didn't even get a new hockey game the first year. They just released basically the same game on the old console. No new version. Felt like the lockout year, but even that year we got some of the best hockey games of recent memory. I
Pittsburgh's
thought
coaching staff
we had
told
like
us, Doc,
ESPN,
before the
NHL
game
from
that they wanted to
2K,
get off to a
and
good start, and they did. But they
NHL
can't get
2004 was no
discouraged
slap either.
without
It
scoring
had
a goal
some.
in that first period.
I love playing that one
Gains
too.
the zone and looks over his
That was a good
options.
year. We also had NHL Rivals 2014 or 2004, sorry, which was very good.
Hit him on the way to the net.
Microsoft had their own hockey game for 1 year, I think.
And he gains the zone.
That was during that lockout, so things were a little bit different. We also had NHL hits 2003 or 2003 back then, so
Drives ahead.
there was a little bit more variety in
Wonderful
your choices.
stop.
You had 4 or 5 things.
Skill
Now you
play
have
by
one.
Crosby. Wrist one. Save. And yet another save. How
Oh my
does
God.
he do that?
These saves are
Maybe
all
I
about
forgot how to
possession.
score.
Great save. Pressure now.
Like a game like the last one going 5-1 and come in here and forget totally how to put it in the net.
The Flyers have it along the side at mid-ice. Waits back behind.
All right.
As players change. Trying to go to Malkin.
Trying to
Gathered up
get a
again
little bit
by
more
Kessel.
tricky here.
Shot. He caught a piece of that one.
Not with a simple shot like that. Huh?
Philadelphia's setting up an
About
offense
halfway
from
through the
wing.
game,
A
we're looking
shot.
okay.
He wore that puck on a hard
We just gotta
shot.
wear him down a little bit.
Gains
And
the
we'll
zone.
get a couple
Got
tricky
that
shots
pass
in
his
here
own end.
eventually.
A superb hit. A great hockey play there.
Gostisbehere's not very happy after taking that huge
Goss is fair. I
hit.
guess he's going to Montreal
Wasn't
probably
aware
next year.
who was
We'll see.
around, and he paid the price.
I don't know what
And he
Philly's
holds on
doing there.
and stops play.
I don't think they're poised for a run anytime soon. It's nice
They
to
won
see
that
them
battle
failing
on the
at such a high level.
That puck struck him in front.
Whew, I
Carries
opened
it
up
on
a
in
window
from
for him
center.
and they didn't really
Fires
take it
a
there.
shot.
So I think I'm okay. Oh no, another one.
And
We gotta do something about this.
Another.
Even if I'm pulling a penalty, I guess, slow him down a little bit.
But Branson's going to the box. A player hit the ice, and the call on
We'll
them
just
is
keep
true.
hitting this back up
Penguins with
the
a clean
ice
win on
until we
the
get it
draw.
up where we need it.
An enormous hit.
I wonder if that
We'll
hit will
just keep
change
moving
the
it
momentum
around,
of this game.
waste their penalty. They're not that smart, are they?
Pittsburgh starting
They're
back in their
Philadelphia.
own end.
Waste their
Steps through
time.
the trapezoid. Passing one off now to Letang.
I'd rather do this on their side of the
Can he
ice,
make
right?
him chase it? Snapping a pass to Cullen. Brings it in for an attack. Made that stop.
Maybe even put one in while they have their
Flyers are
advantage.
starting back in the defensive zone.
But now I kind of got to pay attention, won't be able to talk as
Even
well.
when the puck's on your stick, you better know where
He's
everybody
pretty
is
much
on
down
the
for the
ice.
game, isn't he?
Good shooting place.
No, you don't.
An outstanding
No.
pad save.
No.
And still another save. One
No, you're not.
show.
I would have liked to have seen Nintendo get
Pittsburgh's
back on
got a
stage.
defensive
They always
zone
had
win.
so much
The
fun with
Flyers'
it when I
power
went.
play
That was
let
always
them
like
down
the
at a
highlight
key
of
point.
my conference.
A
But
shot.
I think it's a bummer people don't get to experience that anymore if they're coming in new to press.
Great scoring chance.
And the coverage
And
I've seen has been
in-flight over
pretty
the
bad
line.
too. I feel like there's a lot of
That's a good
I
solid
feel like
hit.
it's
He'll feel that
reaction
one.
journalism, right? Like
sometimes
they,
a hit sounds like
it's
a
that
car
one like
crash.
famous
That
shot
was
of the reaction to
Fires.
Zelda, just like pulled out over an entire press package. Oh boy, take a knee.
Pittsburgh's got another win. Shoots. Terrific challenge.
Just go bounce one in
Outstanding
eventually.
save. And on top of that,
I'll trick them
another
eventually.
great
Hart's
stop.
good. He played out here in Everett until the last year, until he went to Philly. Fuck, that's how I need water.
The Flyers need to acknowledge their goaltender after one of the better saves you will ever see.
He was really
Somebody
great
get
in
this guy
Everett.
a
I'd go
Passo
to games
Visual.
just to watch him
Just
occasionally.
under 6 minutes still on the clock in the second.
Look at all
We
these
are
he's held out
deadlocked
so
at
far.
0.
We must already be at 30, 40
Good clean
shots.
win. Brings a shot. May not have been intentional, but he got it anyway. A great wrist shot.
I'll get one in.
Lightning in that glove.
I'll just stand here with you.
Another save. How does he do that?
Amazing reaction.
Puck is thrown to Hornquist. Face off goal. He'll pay for that.
What else did we have? Here we go, another fight.
And so
I was awfully surprised with Rare. I didn't Square, sorry. I didn't expect anything. I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was their last like kind of shot at this generation, but it seems like they had held a lot of resources back for things like Avengers, and but they still have a few tricks up their sleeve.
they would fight, and this
Lost
one is
that
over.
fight, but not
This
by much.
individual fight might have just ended, but I think there
And that's
might
what
be
happens when
another
you throw
chapter.
kind of a center guy against a defender like that, right? He's still bumping people.
Oh, that
You
was
want
a
to fight again?
grueling scrap. They're going to get a chance to rest for 5 minutes.
I'd just like a little bit more
Pittsburgh's
energy
got that one, now one.
coming toward the next
And that
generation
puck
of video
goes
games.
offside.
I'm not seeing a lot of new ideas or new proposals outside of the Watchmen. And I hope that Halo will
And
be
they take
completely
that neutral
different.
zone
Those are
face-off.
some of my best memories of
Muscled
E3. We're
right
going
off.
to the
At
Halo
least he
parties. They'd
protected
have
his
like
goaltender.
fluorescent
A
Spartan
wonderful
drinks.
shot answered quickly.
And we'd get
The shooter
messed
shaking
up.
his head. Great save.
The Bungie years were a lot of fun, but those first years of 343 going in with Halo 5 were a good time.
Good
And
job
Halo
on the
was
draw.
always, it always had the parties
Philadelphia's
devoted
gaining
to
it
it,
back
because
in
it was
the
always
right
like a bigger
Strong
moment than
play
E3.
there.
I mean, it probably shows that it's one of my favorite
Looking to
franchises.
Bukestad. Takes it in from the neutral zone.
I have a lot of Halo bias.
Quick shot. Outstanding save off a chance.
I'll score eventually.
Pitching it to Raffle. Philadelphia's finding a way through center.
Try to remember how I put those 5
Into
in
the
last game.
minute of the second period. Fires. That went off the pass.
That's it. One of us will score.
The Penguins with a neutral zone possession along the way. Shoots one. Lightning in that glove.
I think when I start getting frustrated too, I take worse shots. Right? I'm not centering them as well. I'm not creating as much space and kind of just desperately like flinging my guys toward the center of the net
Critical
when I
win
could be
where
coming
they
around
need it.
back here and kind of setting
Good
something
solid
up better.
defensive play there. That It's the
Obviously, you
end of
don't
the
just want
second
to rush
period,
down the ice
and the
and have like
scoreboard
a
hasn't changed since the
back and
warm-up.
forth race.
Nothing.
It's a boring hockey game, so I'm going to try to create some more
Third
space
period
here.
is underway. It has been a spectacular defensive and goaltending performance tonight. And maybe it will continue. The Penguins lug the puck in the defensive
zone. As far as
zone.
games on this, I really only play with Penguins and Toronto sometimes.
He just flat out missed it.
Big Penguins fan, minor Leafs fan.
To Giroux.
I'm ready for Seattle to get their own team so I can play as at least somewhat like the team. Pennsylvania is far away from where I am.
The Flyers' power play gets another chance to operate. Hasn't been effective yet.
They've been on the power play before.
I think I'm down for season tickets whenever we get a name lined up. So my personal choice is I'd like Sockeyes. Seattle Sockeyes sounds pretty good to me. I think rumors are still leading towards like maybe Kraken. I'm hearing a lot of Kraken lately, which I don't know how to feel with that. They revealed their color scheme last week. That's like red and light turquoise, greenish blue. So it looks like fish scales to me. I could see Sockeyes still. But I could also see that theme revolving around like the Metropolitans, like 1917 color scheme. So we'll see how it goes.
Gotta ice it here. Now it's directed.
Maybe I'll just come on here and talk about hockey whenever I need to. It's my outlet. Since nobody will let me do it on the website. Thank God, right?
Save at the edge of the crease.
You want to score goals, you have to go to this area.
Skates it into the zone. Puts one off.
I'm definitely going to find out some kind of hockey outlet once the Seattle team set up. I'd like to start a website about that as well. So
the Flyers wheel it up the wing.
That's next on the agenda whenever we get a team name
Picks
now.
it up in his own end.
I think I'm already getting some resources together and trying to figure out a good website name, but I kind of need the direction of a team name.
Shoots and a save.
I'll start producing some articles, bring a couple people on, see how that website goes too.
A little under 6 minutes have transpired in the third.
At least I have a
It's
color
been a
scheme. I
tight
can
game
start poking
and
around
no
with the
score from
design and
either
whatnot.
team yet.
Create something real simple.
Save.
Just like Twin Geeks, I like a simple website that only has a few parts to it, more than a few working parts, and I feel like you're playing more with design than working on content for people.
Into the bench here.
The puck's cleared into the bench, and somebody gets their hands on it. They'll grab it and flip it up over the glass to a fan who sits in the proximity right behind the bench.
As long as the content's good, I think you could believe in a website, right? It doesn't really matter what the design looks like. A newspaper doesn't have an incredible amount of design. It's so simple. And that, that's what you want. You want the content reliable. The rest will come.
Smart recovery by Myers. And it's a good pickup. Chip to Rust. Oh, and the pass wouldn't go.
This game's not amounting to very much at all.
There's an example.
Well, he got hit so hard it looks like his shoulders touched each other. That one's going to leave a mark.
Getting to be hard hitting though.
Each team has tried to force their will onto the game at various points tonight, but there is no spread in the game. Two evenly matched teams playing a tight game.
Pass attempt to Cullen. Shot, wonderful stop.
I'm getting very short shots. I'm not getting a lot of space in the back. So I don't think I'll probably ever go to E3 again. I think I feel a lot happier watching it on the screen. It's such an exhausting conference. And if you didn't go, I think feel grateful that you just got to watch most of it because you miss mostly everything that's worthwhile. While you're on the floor, you get to your appointments and you see a few things. And everything else, even real important announcements, I find out like a week later. Oh, okay. If it doesn't show up on the floor, it's not in your periphery, so it doesn't really matter for that week. It's a good way to level out what really matters for the next year, though. When you go to those kind of conferences, you get to kind of you get to read the temperature of the room right away, much better than you do on a video.
Intercepts that pass. Maybe he can generate something. Fires! Oh, and he missed the net.
Like, I feel like everyone there has a pretty good idea of what the next game of the year looks like.
And the puck rings around the boards.
Even looks like this year's the 2020
Pass in his own end.
E3. I think that's a problem a lot of developers are running into, is that production budgets and design takes so many years now that it's not really a very good deal to go every year into something. There's going to be off years between production cycles and just where the console is in its time frame. But everyone needs to be finishing up their final project. This isn't the final year, next year is. Why would they release anything this year? Next year will be like the max quantity of these consoles, and the price will come down, and their games will be more accessible to the widest audience. It makes no sense to put anything out in 2019 unless you fill a spot like Death Stranding. Sony needs something there. Got one up.
The Penguins picked a great point to get the first goal of the game. We are late in it. And that's a face-off win. Late in the game, the outcome is still in doubt. Up, bumpy rides ahead. The Penguins up the wing.
I think, yeah, what I'm most excited about is Doob, and then this little side-scroller, Valferez. I love this Konami TurboGrafx announcement. TurboGrafx, one of my favorite pieces of hardware. Other than Dreamcast, I'd say it's my second favorite console. Konami finally doing something with Hudson is pretty cool.
No luck. Let's see.
Outside that, Animal Crossing, I watched the Treehouse. It looks incredibly appealing to me. I'd love to get on with my wife or my daughter next year and do some of that local split screen. That'll pay dividends for them for sure. See if we could run one more up. Empty net, really? Here we go. Alright. That puts it away. And I'll probably wrap this up as soon as this game ends.
The Flyers control from the neutral zone. And the play goes offside. The cage is vacant.
Alright, one more shot.
So important to
see if we can get one more goal up there. Oh, their net's empty.
Moves it to the corner. Flyers!
I don't remember PC players drawing goalies very often in these games. That seems like maybe it's a newer thing. They always seem to wait till the last second at least. They might give me one more opportunity to score. We'll see what we can do on here. I feel happy after a year of playing that come back and won 2 games in a row for our stream, because I wouldn't try to put this on YouTube if I lost them miserably, right? I'd pretend these never happened. Good games though, and we'll talk about video games and films again soon. Maybe next time we'll talk more about movies. Maybe website. Alright, take care.
A lot of goals towards the end of